Hey, what's happening, guys? Ryan from Recovery Tattoo. We are back with another one. Another story time. I'm going to try to make it a little quicker. I think my hour-long videos don't do as well, but it's hard because I want to make sure I get the details and the context out there. And then I re-listen to my videos and I realize that I left out a whole bunch of details anyway. So I'm going to start, like I said before, I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to start making notes about my stories and having them near me, even if it's just bullet points or whatever, so I know I don't forget any of the parts that I'm really not trying to forget. Right? So yesterday, when I started this, I was using a V-Select 11 round liner, right? And I don't know if you could tell through the camera, but they were coming out so bad. Yeah, I was struggling so much the whole time. It's unbelievable, and I couldn't understand why. I really couldn't. I just had no clue. But I finally, I don't know why or what made me think why it took me so fucking long to think about it. It's probably the damn cartridge. I probably just have a shitty cartridge. My main brands are like, and it was easy. It was V Selects were made by Easy, right? So I wasn't expecting that, but the cartridge was trash. Maybe I just got a bad one, whatever. But as soon as I put in, I was like, all right, let me just try like a 7-round shader. And I'm going to go, try a line or two, and just immediately better, immediately more saturated, immediately way sharper, easier to put in, just all around better. So let's finish lining this up while I tell the story. Maybe I can start some shading. During the story, we'll see. It looks like it. I'm gonna have a problem with this watch here because I lost all the detail, but I'll pull up my reference and just go slow and really look at it. All right, so again, I'm using my OG Produce Fury 2 with the Fall Harbor motor. It's an Inkin 7-round shader on the Real Skin Fake Skin and Straight Dynamic Black. That's it for tattoo information. 4.2 stroke. I'm going to start around 7.5 volts, but I'm going to probably switching between there and 8 volts with a throw at about 1.5 millimeters. And so I'm going to try to get through this story, right? It's a story of it's one of the stories from when I went to prison, state prison, the big boy prison for the first time, right? So here we go. So when this is happening, this story happens to me as soon as I fucking get there, right? As soon as I get there, after I meet everybody, it's been like a week, a week goes by, I'm trying to get into the routine of things, still meeting everybody. This is in, it starts off in R&D, Concord State Prison, and then ends somewhere else. So what happens is one day, an R&D is where you go when you first get to the prison. No matter where you're coming from, when you first go to the prison, you have to go through R&D. You're like waiting for your bed. You're waiting for them to place you somewhere in the prison, right? And it's the absolute worst time ever, man. I can't even describe it. the worst. It's the fucking worst. And it's the oldest part of the prison that's still standing. It's barred walls and doors, like the old school shit you see in the movies. No window, steel walls, in this tiny ass room where the toilet is like 4 inches from the head of the bottom bunk, and you can't put your arms all the way out. And there's 2 motherfuckers in there at the same time. R&D is the absolute worst. R&D alone will make a motherfucker not want to ever go back to state prison. I'm fucking telling you. It's so bad. With no AC, no air, no heat, no nothing. It is the worst place to be. Forget about being there in the summer and the winter. And I've been there in the summer and the winter. Gnarly stories about that too. Okay, so here we go, right? So, right when I get there, I'm a fucking drug addict, right? We all know this. And I'm still figuring out prison, but R&D is where everyone first goes when they get there. Everybody. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, or anything like that. That's where you go. And so we all end up in this one fucking place together. So there's usually a lot of drugs there because that's where everyone comes from, off the street or from another jail, whatever. Usually that place is loaded with at least, drugs. But there was nothing. But there, I guess, had been a bunch of shit there, right? Like right before I got there, of course, right? This time. And, I'm still new to this being in state prison thing, right? So, like, I'm moving very, very fucking careful. I'm on point. I'm on my fucking game. I'm very much aware of my surroundings. When you're in a place like state prison, you have to live in a state of fight or flight mode, like, and it's 24/7. It's not like just like a moment in time that you got to get through, and it actually causes long-term damage. It fucking sucks. So anyway, I'm walking around like I'm comfortable. I'm walking around like I know what's up. I'm comfortable, like, you gotta walk around like with your chow hall face on. We call it your chow hall face because everybody in the chow hall always has like their mean face on. You always walk into the chow hall and you walk around and you look at dudes. Everyone's got like the face on like they're the fucking biggest, baddest murderer around. So we always make jokes about people fucking making certain faces, especially like mean ones, or trying to make a tough face, that we call it the chow hall face. Because every time you're in the chow hall, you gotta have your tough face on, right? So anyways, I'm walking around with my chow hall face, like, doing my thing. So anyways, I find out very shortly after I get there that someone I'm close to was just there. They're in the prison. They're just not in R&D anymore. They were in R&D and they got housed, and they're not there anymore. And so the people approach me, and these are gang members. He owed money, is the point. He owed money, and since I was fresh to the system and nobody really knows me, like, nobody knows me quite yet. Nobody's seen me put in work there. Like I said, this is like not even 2 weeks in. So, this gang tries to get, they basically tell me that since this dude is from where I'm from and that he's my friend, we know each other, rah rah rah, that the debt is now mine. And this doesn't happen often, but it will happen where people will sell debts to other people or to other gangs, and then all of a sudden someone who you thought you owed sells the debt off because they don't think you're going to pay it to another gang and say they'll split it if they go and collect. That's a big thing. So, but in this situation, these guys just weren't going to get paid. And they were trying to just get their money. They were trying to get their money out of me. And, I'm just a young white boy at this time. I wasn't covered in tattoos yet, none of that. And I was young as shit, and I looked it. So, anyways, it wasn't a shitload of money, but it was enough to warrant people, taking risks like what's about to happen, right? So they fucking, like I said, I got my head on a swivel. I'm always looking around, seeing what the fuck's going on. So I can see from the corner of my eye that these fucking black dudes are approaching me. These 3 black dudes, right? And my whole body tenses up. You get the butterflies in your stomach. You get used to this feeling, and you understand it quickly in a place like this. And so I'm like, please don't stop. Please don't stop. I was in my head. I'm like, just don't. I didn't want to have anything to do with whatever the fuck they had to say. It didn't matter. I was just trying to do my time. But at the same time, I wasn't taking no shit. I still had to make a name for myself. I still knew what the hell it was and where I was at. I understood. And so these guys, they come up to me. They're like, yeah, your boy just left. Do you know so-and-so? Yeah, he just left. He owes us $200. And I said, all right, cool. You know what I mean? What's that got to do with me? And they said, well, since that was your boy and rah, 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 you guys are from the same area, we're going to collect that from you. We're going to need that. And, in a situation like this, I'm already cornered. I'm in a blind spot. These are all things I've already noticed and realized. I know what's going on. I'm paying attention to every single thing around me. Every movement, breath from anybody, everything. I can remember the dank mildew smell from the concrete-soaked fucking walls. From the wet concrete walls. Sweating from the fucking 100-degree weather outside, which meant it was a fucking 130 in there. They say to me, when I say, well, I don't think that's fair, I'm not going to pay a debt that's not mine. And they said, well, we're basically telling you that you don't have a choice. You're going to have to pay this debt, or you're going to pay this debt, or check in which means, you know, checking in is when somebody forces you to leave the block. You have to go up to the cops and say you're scared for your life. It's the only, you have to say those exact words. Otherwise, the cops don't have to do shit for you. And if you say that, they have to immediately move you off the block. And not just to another block, you gotta go to the hole. There's no PC in New Hampshire. You can check in, but you're going to the fucking hole. You're not going to like a PC block or, you know, nothing like that. So, you know, the conversation starts to get pretty heated. And one of the guys in the back, I see his shoulder move and his arm go up. And I could tell that he just took, like, he pulled something up and out of somewhere. I'm guessing his waistband. And the guy's saying, they're being calm as shit. Talking very, very slow, but meaningful. And basically just telling me that this is how it's gonna be, or this is what's gonna happen. And the guy flashes he flashes a piece at me. You know, he flashes a knife at me. You know, he doesn't like pull it on me or, you know, anything like that. He just lets me see it and lets me know that, you know, they mean business. You know, they're not there to just talk. And, you know, that feeling when you first see something like that and you realize that is meant for you, and that your life, or maybe not your life, but I mean your immediate health is in very much danger, and you're about to feel a lot of pain and not be able to do anything about it. It's a terrible feeling, but you got to keep your fucking cool and keep your fucking face like a man. It's hard to do. It's not in everybody. You know, thank God I had an old man that taught me how to not be a pussy, at least. So I'm nowhere near a tough guy, but I have heart, at least. I'm going to step in the fucking paint no matter what, win, lose, or draw. And I've proven that over and over again. And you guys will learn over the time because I'll tell the stories. And this is one of them. So the kid flashes the piece, right? My heart starts beating like a motherfucker. My mouth fucking's dry. I can't even swallow. But like I said, you gotta keep your cool. You gotta act like that ain't shit. You gotta act like you'll take yours out too right now. What's up? I wasn't trying to escalate the situation. The debt wasn't mine. But at the same, so you had to stand up. You have to stand up for yourself. What are you gonna do? Pay some other motherfucker's debt? The first time you do that, you're a sucker. When it comes to just straight business, you know, when there's other situations where you would pay somebody's debt, but that's gang politics, so it's a different situation. But anyways, you know, I look away from the knife and just deadlock eyes with the guy in front that's talking to me. You know, and I very calmly wait for him to finish talking, and I say, I understand, brother. But as you know, I'm new here. That debt isn't mine, whether I know the guy or not. You know that. And I can't, one, as a man, period, I can't pay that debt. Sorry. But we're also in state prison, and you guys are trying to fucking kind of treat me like a bitch, and I just can't allow that no matter what. You know, what consequences you're saying are gonna come my way if I don't. It just doesn't matter. So you can see that you can cut the fucking tension in the air with a knife, right? It's unbelievable. In your head, you're like, okay, what do I do? Do I fight back? Do I just say okay? Do I just pay the debt and just hope everything goes away? You know what I mean? You fucking, and then like the feeling when you realize that you have no protection and it's completely unfair and there's just nothing you can do about it, and that sense of isolation and just that sense of, listen, it's your life is in danger right now, and any movement or word could affect that, and that feeling is just insane. You know, they're playing the part too. You know, they're being they're being extremely calm, controlled, confident as shit, and aggressive as fuck, you know? The guy gives me a shove when I say, listen, man, I'm not paying that debt. I'm sorry. You know, I'm like respectful, you know, no disrespect, but I can't pay that bill as a man. I'm sorry. And he shoves me. I think he just wanted to see what. I don't think they were really planning on anything going down right then. I think that was just a planned conversation, and it didn't go the way they wanted. And so he shoves me, and I'm still new to prison. This is before I've now been ingrained, trained, and had to many times. If somebody shoves you or says certain things to you, that you take off immediately. So later on, once I was more established and comfortable and had my friends and I was doing what I was doing, you know, if somebody said the wrong words to me, I was punching them in the face right there on the spot. Whether the cops are standing right there, whether their friends are standing right there, it doesn't matter. On site. I'd rather take off than live in fear that someone's gonna hurt me at any minute, which is the feeling that you have the entire time you're in prison, the whole time. Because you never know when a situation's coming your way, whether you put yourself in it or not. But dude did shove me, and so I didn't, not to like the ground, I didn't fall or nothing like that, but he shoves me just enough that I think they wanted me to take off, or they just wanted me to pay the debt, whatever the fuck the scenario, right? But it was like a fucking, he was trying to, assert his dominance. They're gang members. He's trying to show me that he'll do whatever the fuck he wants, whenever he wants. And I better pay this money or I'm going to, have a couple extra holes in me than I did when I woke up that day. And nobody likes that fucking feeling. It was unbelievable. The first time's just unbelievable how fucking fast your heart races, how fast your mind races. And depending on how you're built and how far you're willing to go, those thoughts can take people out. I've seen it. Some people can't even handle just the thought of it all. And so, I'm trying to think. It's all picture frames in my head because, at this point, I'm at 100. Do you know what I mean? I'm at 100. I'm mad. I'm scared. I'm nervous. I don't know what the fuck to do right now. It's a beating and or a stabbing, no matter what. It's a lose-lose situation for me. But even in those situations, it's very important to, no matter what, never back down. No matter how scared you are, no matter what, in a situation like that, you don't let somebody punk you off or treat you like a sucker or a bitch. You just can't allow it in these places. It just is what it is. It's the politics. So it's always better to fight back and lose than not fight back and give in or check in or pay rent or be a bitch in any way. So, he fucking shoves me, right? And like I said, my mind's going a trillion miles an hour. I'm not sure exactly how to handle this situation. And so I just fucking calmly raised my head, my chin, Still aware of my surroundings, you gotta be, because you never know where something's gonna come from. And I just said again, listen, man, no disrespect, but I'm not paying that debt. And I'm also not gonna let you sit there, shove me, and treat me like a bitch at all, for one, and two, out here on the block in front of everybody. It's just, I'm not having it. I can't. That I was like, buddy, that I can't either, And so I've always been good at being able to see or know when someone's about to hit me or when the hit's coming, whatever. I've fucking almost never been punched square in the face while I'm paying attention and dead on. Because I can just always see it coming and duck and dodge somebody's first punch. I've done it. I've always been good at it. And so when I stood back up, and said what I said. I could tell dude on the other side of him, not the one with the blade, but the other one, he cocks back and I know that he's about to swing. And I'm able to fucking dodge it. The dude swung for the fucking fences too because he lost his fucking balance when I dodged his shit. He almost lost his footing and went over. And so once that happened, you're in an altercation. It's time to fucking either run away like a bitch to the door and scream for the cops, or nut up and start fucking hitting motherfuckers. Yeah, you might get hit a bunch of times, but give out as much as you can before you go down. You're not gonna win, but that's okay. And the end result doesn't matter. It's the fact of whether or not you fight back or not.